Good Saturday morning, everybody. It is I, Trevor Thompson, and I'm the Looney Tunes critic. You might remember me from such things as those other things I did, and more. But we are watching a Pepe LePew cartoon. Why? Well, because some of you out there have said, hey, Trevor, you don't do any Pepe cartoons. And I said, that's not true. And then I looked and realized you were right. So I got my good buddy Dave Germain to sit and do some really great Pepe cartoons, and this is one of them. Dave, let's listen to an Arthur Q. Bryan performance that is uncredited, sadly.
Yes, but a good performance nonetheless.
Yeah,
this isn't it. The security guard here is not the Arthur Q.
No, but there's a weird I don't know. There's a weird quality to his voice in this because of him trying to sound, so like a snooty director, French director, and.
Oh no, Mel Blanc is the director, but Arthur Q. Bryan is that little lackey.
Right.
Like.
Yeah, what would you call him? The casting director, I guess. Here he is. I think this is where we see him, right?
David Butler. I wonder if that was a reference to a real person.
David Butler.
Check. 14 lions, check. 13 éléphants, check. 6 chimps Élysée, check. 2 raccoons, check. Un skunk avec la semelle removed de moi. Oh, pauvre moi.
Yeah, I wonder why Arthur ended up doing that voice. You don't know, do you?
I'm not sure what would have led to that.
God, the layout.
I guess Mel needed a break or something. I don't know. Because Mel's already doing like this director, that security guard, and other incidental characters around too. Like
these layouts are great, though.
Mm-hmm.
These are some beautiful, like stylized. Again, we were talking about that.
This was done in that brief period when Ernie Nordley was the layout artist when Maurice Noble left during the shutdown.
Feel free to talk about that because I don't know hardly anything about Nordley. I hardly know Nordley.
I know he committed suicide.
He did?
Sad. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Could have warned me.
Yeah, not sure when and not sure why, but
it's funny. We're on our third Pepe cartoon, and we haven't really addressed the fact that in the way that Yosemite Sam is kind of a prototype for his Freeling, Pepe is somewhat of a prototype for Ted Pierce.
Yeah, because Ted Pierce was kind of like that in the studio.
Yeah, he was the office womanizer. Not womanizer, but ladies' man.
Yeah, I believe someone put it that Ted Pierce was never without a girlfriend.
Right. I remember him saying something about the Roadrunner. We don't do any. He don't do any romance pictures with the Roadrunner, but the Roadrunner has the same philosophy as any man, which is that he doesn't woo his woman with baubles and and stuff until after the fact, after the act. So he was. But yeah, Chuck said that he was really his own ineptitude with ladies, and
yeah, Pepe's attitude was the exact opposite of Chuck's attitude.
Yeah,
or his instincts towards women.
I don't.
Chuck would whenever he saw like a woman he wanted to be with, his instinct would be to hang his head and say, "Oh, I'm not worthy."
Or he would flatter them to death and have sex with them on the side, like he did with June Foray. But
okay.
I actually didn't say that at all, and that's what I mean. Is like the truth is there's a funny quote in one of his books where he says truth is truth being stranger than animation, and it is always I'm sure he didn't do well with women his entire life, or growing up, but there was certainly a point where he was capable, let's put it that way. And he was he was aware of what he was able to.
I'd like to point out a bit of a falsehood in this scene we just saw.
What's that?
Where the director is yelling quiet.
Yeah.
But this was takes place in the silent era in 1915. So directors never needed to yell quiet.
That's a good point.
As much as until sound came in.
Jesus Christ! As many times as I've seen this fucking cartoon, I never figured that. Well, I guess you do need quiet though on a set.
Well, to concentrate, I guess, but
yeah,
but it was more imperative when sound came in because who knows what the boom mic could pick up, Yeah,
so. Right. The fractured French that apparently that was a joke that Mike Maltese did around the offices of both the Warner's lot and also Schlesinger's. He would leave, there would be signs up, and then he would put a fake French translation below it. So if the sign said no smoking, it would be, please, or it would be it would be extinguishez-vous all cigarettes before entering, dans cette room, silver plate.
Yeah.
So eventually it was when they got to doing Pepe, it was now we have a home for your nonsense, Mike.
My favorite is in the one Wild Over You. No petit de foie gras means don't step on the grass.
Yeah. All right, man. We got one more of these we're gonna do. We're gonna do Lube, Come Back to Me, and that's coming up.